About a year ago, I got back from one of the hardest things I have ever done in my life, a 10-day silent Vipassana retreat where there was no phone, no books, no entertainment, no talking, not even eye contact, just pure silence for 10 straight days. It was like a deep surgery of my mind, and definitely it was not easy, but I made it through. I sat and meditated close to 12 hours a day, completely isolated for 10 days straight. And I can say that I have touched a state of mind which genuinely didn't know was possible, right? So in this video, I'm going to walk you through two things. First is exactly what happened day by day, being there in silence with zero external connection. And second, what it actually did for me. How did I felt, or what did I understood from this practice? Before I get into the experience, let me quickly explain what is Vipassana. So, Vipassana is a technique taught by Buddha himself over 2500 years ago. It was taught by Buddha to help people get rid of misery. And I would say there is nothing religious or Buddhism about this technique. It's purely practical technique for understanding the root of your own mind and of your own life. And so yeah, this is Vipassana. I would say just check it out more. And okay, so let me actually walk you through the experience. So for all 10 days, you follow a strict schedule. I will put a screenshot of a schedule somewhere on the screen so that you will have better idea. So the day starts at 4 a.m. in the morning, and from there you are meditating for close to 12 hours spread across the day. So here you don't start with real Vipassana. The first 3 days are all about technique called Anapana, in which you develop a pure observational mind of your incoming and outgoing breath, nothing else I would say. And that's when you realize that how much of your mind is blubbering and how much of your a monkey mind you have it. That's why I call it like those 3 days. It's all about sharpening a knife or sharpening your mind, because here you are not learning the real technique yet. You are making your mind ready to learn Vipassana. This initial 3 days, meditating for 10 to 12 hours a day, definitely it was not easy, and I questioned myself a lot. I doubted myself and I had a lot of negative thoughts about even why I was even there. But with time and repetition, I could feel the shift, and I can say that my mind was getting sharper and sharper at simply observing the thoughts. And that struggle really mattered, because without it, what happened on day 4 wouldn't have landed the way it did. Personally, this were the most interesting days, because here the things started to unfold step by step for me. And this is where they introduce the actual technique, Vipassana technique. And you are first told to observe sensations right at the tip of your nose. And when I started to observe, and I would say, oh my gosh, that was mind boggling to feel the nerves around my nose vibrating like that. That was something different. That was something different. And then they introduce something called Aditthana, in which you sit completely still, no movement at all, and for about an hour, like per session. And here you just observe sensations throughout your body, rise and fall. During one of the Aditthana sessions, sitting there, I felt really sharp and intense uh, pain in my upper back, and I was just observing as per the practice, and I was watching it fading away with my own balanced mind. And I would say that's exact moment when I realized through my own body that nothing is permanent. Even this pulsating, intense bodily pain is just fading away. Yeah. So everything is constantly vibrating and constantly changing. That's where I realized, like, oh my gosh, it was amazing to experience through body itself. And I realized that we cannot grasp this minor changes with our daily gross mind, but to observe and understand this in a deeper level, we need this kind of narrowed and sharp practice, which lets you actually see the nature of life for what it is, which is constant change. The most difficult days of the entire 10 days Vipassana journey. But it was a bit strange because my mind was at really peace and I felt so much of love and care that I had tears on my cheeks over and over, not because of some sadness or something happened, but purely out of bliss and gratefulness, I would say. Um, and let me give you a clearer picture of the state I was in. So we were allowed to take walks in a nearby forest, and I remember consciously avoiding stepping on leaves because even the stepping on leaves and the sound of them crushing underfoot felt like some disturbance to the peace of my mind which I was holding on to. If there was a difficult part to these days, it was all about missing my close ones and my family. And I genuinely wanted so badly to share this exact state of my mind which I was holding on to, but I couldn't share. And but I would say it came from the longing came from the healthy and good place because I wanted to share that peace and love and care with them. So in a strange way, I will call this as one of the best mental states I have ever been in. During these days, nothing specific bothered me anymore because I started to accept everything the way it was, and I accepted everything fully. But I watched a lot of fellow meditators giving up right around this days or right around this time. And for many of them, this was the toughest period of the whole retreat. But for me, my mind was kept circling back to one single thought that I need to share this experience with as many people as possible. And because of that thought, I'm recording this video now. Oh my goodness. This was the day. On day 10, they finally let you talk to other meditators because they want you to gradually re-enter into day-to-day life. But I would say that's when it really hit me because the second I started talking, I could feel the difference and I could feel my own mind started vibrating all over again. And I couldn't sleep even during that night because of it. And I truly felt the difference between the peaceful mind and the stimulated one. But I'm genuinely, truly grateful for this experience because now I have experienced what actually peaceful mind feels like. I know that from everyday stimulations, our minds are constantly vibrating like crazy, and we feel that it's normal state of mind because we have never ever experienced what actually peaceful state of mind feels like. And I know that we live in a world full of stimulation and there are stuff which we need to deal with, but the experience like Vipassana, I would say like I'm truly grateful for that because just because of this Vipassana, I got to taste or touch this experience or this state of my mind at least for a handful of days. This is the day you get ready and come back home. For me, when I got back, everything looked at distance, like I was watching my own life and my stuff from distance. It was a bit different compared to how I see and usually perceive things or how I see. Like normal things, yeah, but it was a bit different. It lasted for around 2 3 days, and still this day I don't know why this happened, but yeah, it was a strange experience for me. And as I said, like, it took almost 2 to 3 days for my mind to adjust and come back to normal day-to-day activities. Honestly, it wasn't as hard for me as I have heard from a lot of people. Maybe because I already had a meditation practice going in, or maybe because I have built a thicker or more stubborn layer of solitude in my life over time. Either way, I have to say that it was more impactful experience than I could have ever imagined. If you're wondering whether you should go for this or not, the definite answer from my side would be a big yes, no doubt about this. So, whenever life gives you 10 days to spare for yourself, please take them. It's completely free. You just need to register. I will leave the dhamma.org link and all the details below. And in case of any questions, feel free to leave a comment. I'm looking forward to answer, and I will try my best to answer your questions. Before the end of the video, I would say this retreat or Vipassana experience lets you touch a kind of reality and a version of yourself that's otherwise almost impossible to reach in everyday life. So go for it. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Cheers.